Welcome to the Diplomats. I'm Go Horns Go, known as Ed Sullivan, just doing this solo today, and I guess for the entire Media Wars Journal. I have no friends. I don't know what's happening. No one wants to join me to talk about my game. But here we are in Media Wars 2. I'm going to talk about 1903, spring, fall, and winter. We're going to do it all in one. That's fantastic. Let's go over the goals, which I stole from Zachary Moore, which is to last longer than Zach Moore in Media Wars 1. He was eliminated in 5th, and I was in 6th. And kill Ezio. Ezio and Captain Meme from their Diplostrats podcast have made fun of me in the past. Didn't appreciate it. I was very offended, and so now I must kill him. All right, after 1902, here were the power rankings. We have a new Russia, and I still like Ezio in France, even though I hopefully one day will get the opportunity to kill him or be at least ahead of him. Maybe I should modify the goal a little bit. Winter 1902 is where we are at. I got no builds. France built in Brest, presumably to take out England. And so negotiations here were about England really wanting me to attack Russia and or France and to use him. But I'd gotten off to such a rocky start with England that I just didn't trust that was going to last very long. Now I've got this Russian issue to worry about. I'm in Skagerrak, and he's, is he going to snipe me there? Russia's not so happy that I'm in Bohemia, and here I am in Munich. And I have to admit, I don't do a lot of talking with anyone. I don't know if the board's just gotten slow or what's going to happen. I see that Italy builds a fleet in Naples, which I take to be either a defense against Turkey, or an attack on France. So overall, I don't feel like I have a lot of enemies. One thing is that Austria keeps saying, don't attack me, and I don't attack them. When we go to spring 1903, I decide I'm going to take over Tyrolia, which I like continuing my move to the east. I convoy Belgium to York. I had some good negotiations with France on that point. France offered me Belgium. I didn't ask him for it, but given that he did that, that he convoyed to York in exchange for Belgium, I felt that was a more than fair deal, especially since France was going to go up in builds. France got a successful convoy into Wales. It was a guess, and he guessed correctly. So good on France for doing that. I think the English Channel should have probably covered Wales as opposed to launching an attack on Mid-Atlantic, which was doomed to failure. So, anyways, that's my humble opinion. And Germany moves to Marseille. So overall, I'm happy with the moves in the West. I don't really like that Russia's keeping units in Scandinavia, but there's not much I want to do about it at this point. Meanwhile, Austria attacks Turkey and takes Bulgaria, while Russia feeds down into Romania, suggesting that Austria and Russia now are cooperating a bit. Italy here, I don't know what's going on. They're attacking me. We're trying to move to Tyrolia. I don't know if that's an attack, but that wasn't going to work. And whatever those lines were down there with Austria, it looks like supporting Austria into the Aegean didn't work. So, okay, mission accomplished for me. I was very happy with that moveset, particularly happy with France for suggesting the taking of Belgium. So I feel good about that. As we moved into the fall, England proposed moving to Norwegian Sea with the idea that I would then just help him into Denmark and take Edinburgh. I said okay to that, but I never intended to do that. Meanwhile, Russia really wants me to attack France. France really wants me to attack Russia. I'm sort of reticent to do either right now. Russia continues to move east. I like that. And so the main thing talking with Russia is, what am I going to do with those two units? Now, Austria's really scared about those two units that are there, and I assure Austria they're not coming to attack him. He shouldn't worry. And I think about moving to Venice. Should I try for Venice? Italy tells me he's going to cover. When someone tells me they're going to cover, usually to me that means they're not going to cover. That's a typical tell in online press for me and virtual face to face. But it would be kind of just lurching to go for Venice, and not really sure what to do. And I think my fall moves essentially show that I don't know who I can trust. I hold in Belgium, which makes perfect sense since I don't want to move and I have nobody to support and I want to take that dot. I help England into London, which is guaranteed. France gets into, I help France go into London. I help France go into Liverpool. And because I'm not entirely sure about Russia, I moved to Skagerrak to A, reduce tensions, and B, to cover Denmark. My biggest disappointment here is that I didn't do anything with Tyrolia or Bohemia. I told Austria I would stay out of it. I told Russia I would stay out of it upon Russia's request. Anyways, Russia gets knocked and retreats to Silesia, which I really don't like, but I think he's going to go back to Galicia at this point. So I'm not sure. I get to build. I build an army. I think a third fleet would be a bad sign to Russia primarily and France secondarily. So that's what I build. I build the army. And Russia told me he was building an army in Warsaw to get him back into Galicia. So I said I'm fine with that. England's down 2, has only Edinburgh left. That is almost certainly going to be German in 1904 if I have my say. So in 1903, things are looking pretty good for Germany right now. I'm at 6. I'm behind both France and Russia, meaning both of them would still probably want to work with me as a junior partner, even though I'm not really that junior and I feel like I have a lot of sway. So let's go to the power rankings for, we'll just call this 1903. Germany, I'm still playing great. I really like my game. I like the moves in the East. I wish I could have taken something or done something, but no one wanted my help. But Germany right now is not my number one fan for that holding. I think France is. Even though I want to kill Ezio, France did give me Belgium at his suggestion. I'll go ahead and put myself as number 2. I don't like that retreat in Galicia by Russia, so I'm going to put Turkey back at number 3. I basically don't talk to Turkey. Let's put Russia as number 4, and the bottom 3 remain the same. Russia, you would have been higher, but for that retreat, but I get it. But Austria, Italy, and England, not friends. I like them all. All 3 are super nice guys. But in terms of me ranking where I feel like you're going to go, that's it. So, sponsored by diplomacybriefing.com. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back with 1904.